All right, we should be live. Let's take a look. Being live is a different experience. Go to the homepage.
I am at the home.
Oh, you are, but I'm not.
Okay,
oh, here we go.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to click on this. Then I'm going to share it with everyone, but I'm not.
Okay,
oh, here we go.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to click on this. Yes, repeat ourselves through the thing. But at least we know that we're actually on the thing and things are actually working.
Yeah, okay, there's the chat so I can see if things.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All right, so we are doing our level best, which is to say, not at all.
Are we gonna start?
Yeah, we're gonna start. What do you mean, are we gonna start?
We have things that we say when we start.
Oh, yes. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
Today, we're going to be taking a look at...
I believe it's Cyan.
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 Sayang.
Cyan. Why you know Sayang?
Why you know Sayang me?
You're gonna read? You're gonna read words?
I'm reading. So, my Gilliman's all but there, I believe. I'm happy with the core body. Now the fun of the base has been coming along well.
With my core body.
Nobody wants to hear your story. This is Cyan's story, okay? Cyan's story. The most fun about this base. When you spot a missed bullet casing or bone detail.
Oh yeah.
Presently trying to find a small buggered brush. Made DIY one, okay? To stipple some white for the rocks. As for the gaps around the diorama section, what should I fill it with? Albeit minor, will bug me. I think it's looking really nice though.
It is looking really nice. So what I would suggest is one of the things that I think we should do probably as a short is how we talked about how you make those texture pastes.
Oh yeah,
pastes.
Pastes.
I should say.
English.
Say pastes. English. Hey, look, Metroid sounds a lot better than last week. Thanks.
Huzzah!
Yes, because we are trying a great deal to make sure that everything is working, but unfortunately, sometimes technology betrays us. But we did a test before we started this week, and it sounded
at least 3.
Yeah, well, we did a few tests. Anyway, the whole thing was, when we went on, we're like, oh, that sounds like complete ass.
Well, it wasn't that bad. It was like echoing. It sounded like we were echoing ourselves.
Anyway, so I think one of the things that we should do is show how to make a texture paste. So Cian, what you want to do is you want to get yourself some craft paints. You want to get yourself some
sand.
Yeah.
Sand.
And we've got a short video on that. I think
we might have actually made that short. Oh no, we made
the sand short, but not how to make
the texture paste. But it's very simple. You just grab the sand, whatever sand you can find. It could even be from the beach.
Yeah, but basically you want a mix of grades. You want some fine sand in there, but you want some medium grit sand.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the medium grit sand, essentially it won't be good. Yeah,
it looks like you're on reclaimed beach. You know how that sand is very fine, and it's false beaches.
No.
Have you not been on a false beach?
I've not been on a false...
what am I talking about? This is Australia. There's no such thing as false beaches. Okay.
What is happening?
Yes, okay.
But anyway,
yes.
The whole thing is you want a mix of grades, and then you're going to stir, say, a black and a bit of white in there because you're going for a grey here, right? And you're going to mix your PVA in with that, and you're going to stir it all together, turn it into a paste, and then just dot it on. So try and get the colour the same colour as you've got for here, and then you just sort of scoop it on to the rest of it.
Yeah, dab it around the edges where that texture-y bit it meets the blank area of the base, and that just helps to make everything cohesive and consistent. Yeah, it doesn't look like patches of strange things around.
I've got to figure out a way to be better at looking at the chat than I am, but until I figure all
But that's
of it
why
out.
we've got the two
Yeah, I
computers.
know. But we'll figure it out. But anyway, so I think like yeah, it's I know your pain, dude, when you're doing up one of these insanely detailed 40k things, but to be fair, let's be fair about this. This is a Primarch space.
Oh,
This
is
is
this? Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
it's not just a sort of like cobbled together random base for randomness, right?
So I guess my question would be, what is the standard that you're going for? Because now that you've mentioned
I
it's
think he's at
Primarch.
least going for character level, at
Yeah.
least. Like that's what I'd say his absolute minimum is, because the whole thing is that when you look at it, like that's what it's got to be for a Primarch, right? Like who does up a tabletop Primarch?
Yeah, I know, right? Because there's still a fair bit more to go, but I think he's just sort of going for the tiniest bits first,
Yeah.
and then he'll go for the large one.
All
Okay,
right. So let us move on.
so next we have Joseph, the Smog Singers for Kingdom Death. See the guy blowing smoke I think he meant to say out of his mouth? That's a separate piece. Did they give it a nice solid peg for a connection point? Don't be. It comes to a point and just rests on the lips. It's held
Oh my
on.
god.
It's held on by a little super glue and a whole lot of hope. The rest.
Oh my god. So there's like literally all it's holding this thing on is just a piece of super glue.
Apparently. Make sure you don't play this game with any 4-year-olds.
Yeah. Is that what he says?
I don't think so, no. The rest are molded to body parts. Given their theatrical/musical nature, I have decided those are masks, not faces, in the theme of the comedy and tragedy masks. Who knows? There's no artwork for them for me to check. Fair enough.
Well, I think they're looking good. I mean, like, I would say that having a mask suits it very well, like,
Yeah.
by what the piece looks like. It is so hard to judge these because, like, I look at them and I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, embryo prawn things.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
One too many booby.
Well, no, I mean, like, seriously, look at them. Like, that embryo prawn things
Yes.
is what I would call them. Cause,
Pregnant prawns. No, look.
yeah, I know. I'm not disagreeing. It's just such a bizarre concept, and like, unfortunately, I've got no context from which to sort of judge this. The only thing that I can say, knowing Kingdom Death, is I think rather than being sort of this matte brown, I probably would have gone with like a sort of flesh color.
Huh. I don't know. Well, again, like you said, we don't know the lore behind these guys
yeah,
or what
no.
the description is that they're
But I
meant
mean,
to
like,
be.
if they've got boobies and all of that sort of thing, and humanoid arms and hands,
That's where the gas is coming out of, based on this model.
yeah, it's coming out of there and it's coming out of their mouth, and it's
fart and gas.
yeah. But like, the thing is, like, that's the only thing that I can say about these.
I am not entirely sure if I would agree with the skin tone color for these guys, because I feel that the way that he has painted it contrasts very well with the mask.
Yeah, but I think a skin tone would still contrast really well.
I don't know, just something about this sort of mud color that makes it have a certain feeling to it that I can't quite put my finger on. But I guess the only thing I would improve that I've noticed is that there does seem to be a bit of mold lines.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've noticed that, but I mean, like,
whatever, I guess.
But we gotta keep people's goals in mind. So
Yeah.
one of Joseph's goals is, he wants tabletop plus, is what he said, right?
Yes.
So like the thing is, he's trying to smash out as many models as he can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to give as much issue when it comes to mold lines because he's not pushing on that. All right, so next up, we've got Justin Gray. Hey!
Yes, he's got a table.
All right, well, you want to read?
Not much painting ongoing for the last 55 days due to illness, but finally managed to get some paint racks and lighting for my area. Hope you enjoy. The lights were Amazon under-counter strip LEDs for £16. Racks were Amazon £16. Grey elbow pads are actually from Temu for 96 pence?
Yeah, pence.
Yeah, pence. And are knee pads for yoga, but work perfectly. Brush rack was a Christmas gift from my beautiful daughter. Looking forward to adding to it. Scale 75 paints are my favorite paints, though. Christmas present from my fantastic girl, Abby Holmes.
Abby.
All
right. Well, I've got another notification, so I don't know if that means we're going to have more posts.
My question is, what is the yoga pads for?
For his elbows when he's painting.
Oh, I've got yoga pads. Brought them over.
Okay. All right.
Would you?
No. Because when I usually paint, I'm a bit back in my chair and I'm resting on my own body.
Right. Anyhow, there was a wonderful setup.
Yeah, it was nice.
Ah, yes, time for the star. Mr. Jason.
Yes. So I do believe that more has been done on this, but let's take a look while that happens. So, would you like to read out?
End of summer break here down under, and it's back to work tomorrow. But as a last hurrah, committed time to my dwarf samurai. Had to take a break from the gold for sanity's sake, so looked at some of his details, scabbard, beard, etc. Need to reattach his hand and fix the hilt. Damned fragile resin, but first complete all the metal. Sorry, I did not read that.
Alright, so hey watcher, how you doing? Alright, now when I take a look at this, I think the only thing that I really think is different from when we looked at it the first time around before he started was he's like overall I think it's way better, but I think he wants a bit more depth in those shadows if he can manage it. But the thing I look at, right, how big is this freaking model?
Oh, 28mm as far as.
And it's a dwarf at 28mm. So, when I think about this, I think how much darker can he get in those shadow areas, right? Because the brightness is all really good, like those lines and how he goes to those peaks and such, right? But yeah, like that's the only thing that I can think of because everything else looks so much nicer now.
Yes, it does. And I'm not so sure if you were to go any darker, I feel like it would be one of those things where you ruin things by trying to improve them.
Yeah, and like that's why I'm sort of like...
Because now for the secret project that I mentioned in the comment for this post, I was trying out the non-metallic gold metals.
Are you talking about this secret project?
No, not that secret project.
Oh, okay, so we'll get to that one later.
We'll get to that one later. But yes, it was my first time.
You just want us to move on because it's true. I often don't pay attention.
Well, let us be on with Joseph once again. This is gonna be fun. I finished the Herb Gatherer and I've started work on 3 Dragon King based characters. I've almost finished the lion pelt on 7 more.
Can I just pause you for a second? Because I've gotten up to this picture and what's hidden by the text over here is he says, "Why isn't the light reflecting on the water?" Shut up. That's why. Yes,
we were gonna get to that, but
it's just I I just saw that and I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, so should I keep reading?
Yeah.
Okay. So I even got in 3 games of Aeon Trespass. Now that I have got my targets and have time to get back to playing, I want Cycle 3. Okay. Finished before C4 arrives sometime in Q1, in theory?
You know what? You've broken all of the rules.
Yes, too many abbreviations. So I guess I'm going to have to read. I want Cycle 3 finished before Clown 4 arrives. Sometime in Queensland 1, in theory. There we go. There's been talk on 2024 hobby goals. So here's mine. Sunny, you probably don't need to read this out on the review. Okay, I guess we're going to skip it. Okay, finish gaming pledges. Number 1, finish Gloomhaven with friends. Started March 2018, currently 7 missions left, and perhaps new side missions. Number 2, start new campaign game with friends. 3, any 3 of the following solo plays. Finish Clown number 3 of Australian Tax Office. Finish Clown number 4 of Australian Tax Office. Finish Clown number 5 of Australian Tax Office. Play, we'll just say Kingdom Death because we know
that's enough. So, alright, when I look at this, first off, sad eye.
Sad eye.
But like,
yeah, she does look really sad, like with even the lips.
Yeah, but like the eye is off on this one, but I'm still going to keep giving him trouble about that because he said, do give me trouble about the things that, where I can improve. But the biggest thing that I look at is like, this model seems like it was a nightmare from start to finish. I look at it and I'm just like, why would I, like that seems like a complete nightmare from start to finish. And like when I saw it, I thought, like, look at these purples, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're so beautiful.
They are so beautiful.
So vibrant, right?
Such a lovely lilac color.
Yeah. And I just think to myself, right? Okay, that looks great and all, right? But the thing I think to myself is, would I enjoy doing this in any way, shape, or form? And I can't say that I would. So I do want to say, when it comes to that model, just like, I'm not going to give it too much critique. I think it's usual, like all of the usual things. I think that, as someone said, pervy seaweed, was it?
It is pervy seaweed. I mean, look, she's barely dressed.
Yes. But like the thing is, I think it's all done really well. I just look at it and I'm just like, nah.
How can we give you a hard time when with such irritating models?
Yes, because those models are truly irritating. And guys, please participate in the chat. Please say things. Please do things, because we would love to interact with you guys, because that's the whole purpose of WAYPN. It's a group. It's not just us screaming into the aether.
Yes, and we want to hear your feedbacks as well, and your thoughts about the person's
And if you've got
job.
feedback for these particular models at these times, just shout them out, because we've got the chat open in a separate area. So we're going to be looking at it all the time. We're going to make sure that we're watching. And, all right, it's Member Monday.
Ooh, Member Monday.
And I want to say, yeah, guys, it's pretty much the same thing that I'm saying over and over and over and over again. This place is yours. You guys are the place you guys are the people who make the place what it is. So say something in the chat. Be active.
Be active. Yes. Tell us your thoughts as well, and so that we have more perspectives to talk about. More, you know, like maybe you spotted something that we didn't, and that's why we love having guests on, because they'll share something that we didn't.
I was trying for a guest. I have the distinct feeling that that's them responding in the chat, but I'm like, do I pause? I cannot pause.
Yes. Well, we'll move on to James. And
Okay, so one of the things, so I know what James is doing. There's a local competition in our area, and basically he's talking about, well, how about we just let you read it out?
Okay. Great news! I am officially done my entry to the Heretics Haven God tier painting competition. I will be posting some pictures of my entry after voting and viewing of competition has ended. But I did want to say some things. 1. Did I push myself to try and learn skills I had not tried before? Yes. 2. Do I think I could do better in future with the learning or time I have spent thanks to this competition? Yes. 3. Did I have fun doing so? Sometimes. Number 4. Do I think I will win? No. But I will listen to honest feedback or help. And 5. Thanks for reading this far. Keep your brushes wet. Oh,
yes.
Tagline has been spoken.
One of the things that I think will be really good is, because this is James' first painting competition, and seeing how they sort of respond to all of that. So yeah, like that's going to be good. We'll do
We're
a follow
excited.
up.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got
Carlos Gonzalez. Please bring me my taco.
Yes.
Well, Ranger Boy or Lady will bring me my taco. So, first one of the year from Tiny Epic Dungeons, Laura Gambit. Kind of looks like some video game character. Maybe she likes to raid some tombs. Wink, wink. Cheers. Yes, we all know.
You've done a Tomb Raider style one.
Yeah,
haven't
but
you?
that one really looks just like Lara Croft.
Yeah, it does.
It really looks just like
away with it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at it. All right, now the real question is: were these 10mm models?
No, I think we discussed it and it was 28.
Okay, because somebody looked it
puny.
up for us last time, I think.
I think it was slightly smaller than 28, but I'm very sure it was 28 because we looked it up and then we were like, I think it's smaller than 28, but then it was 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, watchers, all of you. Hey, it's Created Man.
Created Man.
Sound is 10 out of 10. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the feedback because we need people to tell us if things go awry.
Yes. Indeed.
So this is good.
All right, so I think like that tan white has come out really well, like that sort of khaki tan white. We're well created, man. I mean, like I'm a lot better than I was.
When you were Batman?
Oh yes, I was Batman.
You were Batman. Oh yeah. I thought it sounded like sexy co-host.
Sexy co-host,
but trying a bit too hard. Sexy co-host. But he wasn't trying. That's just how he was because of how badly the coughing had made his, ripped the throat.
Oh yeah, no, it was not good even remotely. So I think that the tan is like that tan khaki is really good. But what I think didn't come off as well is the green. Because with that blue in it, it looks like that sort of plastic dinosaur green.
Yeah, okay, I would say that's because it does look glossy in that one part. The rest of the model doesn't.
No, but I mean, like, take a look here in this second one that I've gone to, right?
Okay.
Right, it does look like plastic dinosaur green.
I don't know. I would only say that the contrast in the texture is obvious because the shorts look to be glossy, but the rest of her looks to be matte.
Well, see, I take a look at that, right? Yeah, I can see that there's a tiny bit of shine in it, right? But it doesn't look that different from the rest of it. Like, maybe it's just the angle here. We'll take a look from another angle. You might be right. Okay, taking a look from here, I do see a tiny bit of shine on. Yeah. So maybe if they were matted down, but okay.
I quite like the green. I think it's a very nice pop of color against all the neutrals going on.
Yeah, it is a nice pop of color, but I think it's too deep into the blue. I think that the blue makes it look like that plastic dinosaur green. Because you take a look at it and, okay, yeah, no, you're right. It definitely is. I'm talking about the glossiness.
Yeah, it's just the bottom.
Yeah,
look
yeah.
that way.
So I think like that's one of the big things. I think it makes it so you're like, wow, that's very noticeable.
But I will say, on the part of the green, yes, thematically speaking, it's a bit too blue for the sort of the adventurer Indiana Jones type deal. It has to be more of that khaki green color, like army green tone. This is a bit more like emerald, a bluish tone.
Oh yeah, no, I follow what you're saying. So you're saying like a more army khaki.
Olive.
An olive drab.
Olive drab. Olive green.
Okay, yeah, no.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm following what you're saying, but
it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I do. I'm sorry because like everything else here, it's like Joseph and his eyes, right? Everything else here is done so well, right? You take a look at that gold, and I'm pretty sure that's non-metallic metal right there, right? You take a look at the broad brim hat, right? You take a look at the whip. You just everything else is done so nicely. Like even the skin highlights, which are really pushed, that all looks really nice. And then there's like this sort of thing. It's the sort of Superman's glasses thing.
I guess I don't really see it, but
well, that's why we try and have more than one perspective here, and we're very similar, so we try and have other people here.
Yeah.
But yes, so I think that's pretty much my opinion on her. I think that she's really, really done well. Like I think everything bar the pants are done well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are
okay. How about you guys? Do you guys in the audience have anything to say?
Yes.
That's what we will check at the start of each of these ones because we have a bad habit of going to the end. Okay, so next up, oh dear, Alexander. What?
Isn't this? What? How? Bjorn. What is the country she's from?
Oh, Iceland.
Yeah, is it like Nordic?
Yes, I think this might be Orblord from
You think?
YouTube. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we'll just call him Alexander.
Yes.
Because that is the only part of this name
Bjorglud.
Why?
Why?
Why have you done this to yourself?
Because
okay, I mean the best way to do this is to go on to Google's and ask Google's to pronounce it for us through the AI magic. Doing it. We're doing it. People.
We're doing it live. Google
to show that we put effort.
Yes. Translate. Please.
Is it Google Translate that?
Pronounce.
Yeah, like if you just put the word in.
Pronounce tool. Apparently not. Google. We've gone rogue on WAYPN. Translate is usually how I get it.
Yeah, let's just use translate English to English. I think.
That will we'll go detect language.
Alexander Højrigs Bøgil.
Hey, I wasn't far off on that one.
Alexander Højrigs Bøgil.
Yes. All right. So, was it just Horace?
No, it was not.
Alexander Højrigs Bøgil.
It's sorry. Like I'm going to call him Horace from now.
Horace.
Yes.
He started the heresy.
Yes.
It's all your fault.
That's why he's got these crusaders here.
It's all your fault.
I blame you.
Well, I just finished these crusaders today. I have been working on. Well, need to clear up the bases from dirt on the sides. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so he just needs to go around with... Like, this is one of the few tools that I think is actually decent. Beard Man, you did hear us when we responded, right? Did hear us respond. So I look at this and the only thing I think was the white lacks definition. Like, I can see some definition down here in the leg.
Yeah, but at the back it doesn't quite show the shadow.
Yeah, but I
as
mean, like,
much.
take a look at the front right here and on the plates.
Yeah, I feel like on the leg he definitely show.
Yeah, and like that was the thing. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, there it is in the leg. Because I was about to say the white has no definition, and then
Perhaps he's going for like a non-metallic metal, like a silver steel, for the helmet and the armor. But then when it comes to the chest area, collar, and the pauldron, it's meant to be like white. Because it feels very specific, the way that he's decided to pick some of these parts. Do you see?
I just think that the white needs some shadowing.
Yeah.
It needs some shadowing
It
when
does.
it comes to the rest of it. Because I take a look at it, right? The other thing that I also noticed, right, is these shields take up a lot of space, right?
A lot of attention, you mean? Like it?
Yeah, like there's a lot of space on those shields, right? And they're quite flat. Like you take a look at them, like
definition wise or design wise.
no, I'm saying like maybe you could do something more with the color. I know it's heraldic and all of that sort of thing, and you got to sort of keep to, like a certain style and all of that jazz, right? But like they look fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It was just sort of something that was glaringly obvious to me. I think on the upper body, you're lacking a lot of like shadowing and stuff.
Yeah. I thought I hit you.
Alright,
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. The white does need a bit of the light gray. Like, what is it? Gray Sia? No? Was it astronomical?
Oh,
gray?
it's a stupid name. So, what just says, I like the detail on the shields, but it needs a different color to stand out. So, I think that there is a different color behind it, but I think maybe, like, it would be a tremendous amount of extra work to do some panel lining on those.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like it needs something. Maybe just a wash. Maybe a wash could give some definition or like a contrast.
The recessions to pop.
Yeah, but like I look at it and like that's the only thing that I think with these guys, right? Like the white needs some definition, the turquoise needs some definition when it comes to all of those things. I think what he has done really well though is the 50-50ness of it all. Like it's very clean between
very
them.
clean.
Like, I don't look at that and I'm like, oh, that's very choppy or anything like that. I'm like, oh, like, everything's so nice, clean. I think these guys give off a very sort of good guy vibe to them.
Yeah, but I do feel that the cape, the way he's chosen to do it, and that green that he's chosen does give it a slight evil vibe.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can see what you're saying.
But when you look at it straight on, you don't get that feeling. But from the back, it does give a very different aura.
Yeah, maybe that's deliberate. I don't know either way. But
yeah, you'll
we're gonna
have to tell us.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us. Horus. We were betrayed.
Your lies.
Alright, so next up, this one's been doing pretty well. I didn't really expect that because we just basically designed a Space Marine Legion.
Yeah, but this image is very happening. And the AI has done a good job with creating a pretty attractive, orange and teal Space Marine.
But we will move on to the next person, Cruz Parker.
Who's this?
Who's this?
I've never seen this person.
Okay, we definitely did not do anything.
Well, after a short hiatus of about 2 years, I finally managed to get back to painting, a part of the hobby I have greatly missed. To ease back into things, I have decided to start off by painting the characters from the Skyrim role-playing tabletop game from Modifius. At this stage, I am going for a very simple subpar tabletop level, as I am struggling to regain my lost ability.
All right. So first off, dear audience, do you guys have anything to say? And difference.
Difference.
Do you have anything to say about these? So the first thing I will say is young Cruz. Young Cruz needs to get himself a light box because you can see how there's a lot of interference of other things in the background.
Yeah,
with the light.
The texture of that
background
cloth, I suppose.
But yeah, apparently they're selling them for $6 at Kohl's or something.
Kohl's. Well, if you're lucky and it's still there,
yes.
Maybe it's just one of those one-time random sales things that happens.
So I think the green's coming out well. I think, he's just trying to get colours on by the looks of things. But I would say the biggest thing with this is, so perhaps this watcher is Cruz because he says, I have ordered one yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I've...
Yes. All right, so the thing is, I think it would really, really do with a wash because there's a lot of definition here. And also, I think some of the times he needs to check his textures because take a look here, right? We got green skin and all of that, but take a look at this in the pants.
Okay, sorry. Let me take a closer look.
So, do you see these marks right here?
Oh, yeah, that's the folds in the pants.
Yes, but it's sort of done as if it's skin.
The skin, yeah.
Yes.
Fair point. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So just like take a little more time to examine your models before you get started. And look, here's the thing. I think that that's fine. And you want to know the reason why I think that's fine? The reason I think that's fine is because we talked about just start now. Just start.
Yes.
And see, it is 1000% better to start at something, fail, and then go somewhere. So we've got some more commentary.
Yeah, some more commentary. So he says, I 1000% agree. Just gonna... Mouse not working. Never mind. I tried to do a wash on the green skin and failed pretty hard.
Yeah, well, I think rather than trying to do a wash on one particular area at the moment, try overall washes. So an overall black wash and try and get your way back up from there because you're starting out from the start again. Mm-hmm. Don't think of yourself as a experienced painter at the moment. Think of yourself as a beginning painter and treat yourself that way and you'll be a lot better because I remembered when I started up painting a while back, I was like, oh, I'm terrible at everything forever. And the reality is, right, you're not terrible. It's just you've got to relearn those skills. Yes. I think color choice has been pretty good. I look at this and I think these are all nice, good color choices. I think these color choices pop a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. I do think that when I saw the wizard, he's got a good color sense there with the specific choices of the type of purple and blue and orange that he has chosen. Very complimentary.
Yeah, very complimentary. And when I take a look at the other sorcerer here is very messy when it comes to the sort of fur and that sort of thing. But I don't think that the sculpts are the cleanest either. Because, I take a look in, right? And it's just... I look at the sculpts and I'm like, ooh, that's...
I can just tell, based on just looking at it.
Very soft?
Yeah, it's very soft, and it's probably one of those types of models with super obvious mold lines.
Yeah.
And, the plastic soldiers?
Yeah.
That type of model, I would think. And it's not very sculpted very well, or even if it was, perhaps manufacturing just failed on its part.
Well, I think the big thing is, take this away from this cruise. Essentially, I think that when it comes to blocking, You've got all of the colors in the right areas. And that's better than 90% of the people out there. Putting paint to a model and getting the colors in the right areas.
Yes.
Like that's
more
like
than
that's
90% done.
Yeah, and once you go from there, everything is uphill,
Right.
you know? And I know that sounds a little sad to say, like everything from there is uphill, but that's the way it is. But, you know, it's like that guy from BoJack says, you know, gets easier, but you got to do it every day. All right, so next up we have Calvinoni and Abyssal Dwarves.
There we go. Abyssal Dwarves, part of an army from Mantic I'm working on. Yes.
So once again, I think this is the Calvinoni classic where it's just sort of like he's very much we do have some feedback from Bruce. Great advice. I will definitely keep that in mind. Thanks for the review, guys. No problem. Now I feel like these pants, the clothes need to be a different color. It is
all just too dark.
Yeah, it's all one solid color, and like I know that they're abyssal dwarves, and that they're meant to all be like, you know, darkness and that sort of thing. And he's dry brushed on the metallic and that sort of thing. And I think that can work for, like, imagine these as sort of those Roman style faces, right? But I think when it comes to these guys, like, you need something else. Like, see right here? That needs to be a different color. This belt...
You're talking about the trims and such?
No, I'm talking about this cloth right here.
Yeah, it does look like he's chosen to just do one
dry brush.
One color for everything. I can tell he's used at least two colors, and it's like a very dark bronze, like a warlock bronze. And then, I don't know what other color that he's used, like close to a black tone, and then dry brushed over it.
Yeah, but like I think the issue is you need to start doing some other things. But like, unfortunately, a lot of the time with Cal, he doesn't give us a lot of information, so we don't know if this is finished or if this is
work in progress.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to Joseph.
All right, so Joseph, this is going to be the one.
NSFW.
This is going to be the one that gets us into trouble. All right.
Oh, are we okay to?
Yeah, no. Well,
okay.
Like, we're small enough on here that, you know, the
YouTube gods overlook us.
Essentially, it'll only get us in trouble if, like, the wrong people are watching. All right, would you like to read out?
The Bone Eaters from the Gambler's Chest for Kingdom Death. The first 5 pictures are safe for public consumption, as they're what'll appear on feeds. Everything after remains uncensored. I have included the only official art out there for us to take inspiration from.
Yep. All right, so let's take a look. So here we go, censored one. And I think we'll do a lot of commentary here, right? When I take a look at these, right, that unnatural skin tone seems to be coming through a lot more once it's got that contrast of the other skin with these people here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct. Because the actual victims are normal people.
Yeah.
And then you've got the unnaturalness of the Bone Eaters, however they've formed and why they look the way they do. Probably from a lot of bones. Become bone colored themselves.
Yeah, because like I look at this art right here, and like when I look at this art, I just think to myself, like they're just lit in yellow.
Yeah, and I think that's more a testament to the candlelight, the lantern.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that's sort of overall washing the light across all of them. And with that green background, it's just yellow and green, and you can't tell what is the actual color of these.
I would agree 100% on that. The Bone Eater. Oh dear. But yeah, it seems that he's had a lot of fun with this. Yes, death by snoo. That is one way of looking at it. But now we'll take a quick look. And we'll just see what we say. So like, I think for the most part, the biggest thing that I see is mold line.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
So if you're going to be doing nude models, you can't have mold lines because people are going to be so super fixated on every single error. Because we are perfect studies in the human form. And we will notice every single time that there's an error. I do think that he could have gone a bit darker with the areoles, you know?
Sorry, we're looking at the lady now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he would have to manually paint on the areolas. On that.
But I mean, like, I still think, like, because they are, a bit perky, so, like, you could use that as sort of a target zone to put a contrast paint on or something like that.
If you're going for a more realistic
Yeah.
outcome, yeah.
Yeah, and just, like, sort of trace around them.
Yeah.
But see, like, this one looks so much better than the other one just because there's no mold lines on it.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't think that there's anything wrong with any of his skin work. I think his skin work is really good. And then we're on to the next one that I think this is meant to be sort of king guy. I do think that the highlighting on
his face.
Well, I was talking about the undercarriage.
Oh, I see.
Is a little off because I don't think the light would be hitting it as much as it is. But yeah, like other than that,
I feel. Yeah, okay. I guess I see what. It's just that it is an unusual size.
Oh, I think it's meant to be veiny.
Maybe
But
that's what I was trying to go for. But yeah, because as I mentioned, this is an unusual size, and so it.
What do you mean an unusual size?
An unusual size, and it would.
Gonna get some people self-conscious.
I will say no commentary. I'm just saying that because of the unusual size, it probably hits the light a bit more.
Well,
because of how proud it is.
Maybe. But when I take a look at some of these other ones, right, I think I've got the same criticism, like the areolas really need some more work.
I think you just need to paint the circle around the actual, and then that will make it look more like real breasts.
Yeah, just like with a contrast paint or whatever it is. But yeah, I think that these guys have...
Yeah.
I think that these guys have come up really well, and I do think like they're a perfect study in basically skin work. But I do think that these mold lines, they stand out so much on these.
It's a bit difficult once it comes to the body. Like you can pretty much be forgiving on anything, but when it comes to mold lines, but when it comes to body parts, people tend to feel that's a bit off.
Yep. Well, we'll see if there's been any commentary throughout all of this. No. Nobody's wanted to comment on the naked models.
Yeah, nobody wants to say anything.
All right, so I'll get you to read out this next bit by Victor Lundquist.
Yes, not my picture. Here is a bit of conundrum I'm thinking about and would love to hear your thoughts. Call question. Can paint and basing make AdMech minis convey hopeful transhumanism and synergy between man and machine instead of dystopian rejection of humanity? Or is that too much of a contradiction with the design of the actual minis?
So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to say yes, it is too much of a contradiction because the Mechanicus and Mechanicum, right? They, it's a fundamental in their ideology. The flesh is weak, right? And you take a look at how all of 40K's philosophy works when it comes to putting stuff into the body and such, right? Like they never try and keep the beauty of the human form. It's always like this ugly bionic eye, when even now we still try for synergy. I mean, like back in the day, like there's skeletons where they've got false eyes in them, right? From like ancient burial sites and stuff like that, right?
Why did they do that?
No. So like the idea was,
Oh, look, Victor's on. Okay.
Yeah.
What has he said?
So he has said, grab it up.
I don't have my glasses.
Why?
I've been trying to find them all day. I don't know where I put them.
You probably put them next to the bed. All right. So you can't read.
I'll
things?
look. Let me get a bit close.
Victor
here. Yeah.
My thinking was in regards to the design of the minis as opposed to the lore. Okay, if we're talking about, if you're like, I don't care about the lore and I want to do like a synergy between, that is totally possible. But when it comes to the lore, like the lore is just too at a crossroads. Like the fundamental of the flesh is weak. There's no getting past that, right?
Okay.
There's no getting past that design philosophy.
You're saying that because that's the fundamental law, they are just saying, I'm just going to keep replacing skin and flesh as much as I can.
Yeah.
Until I become full-on machine and my brain is the only thing that's intact.
Yeah.
That's what it's trying to go for.
And Victor just said, I absolutely get that. So
okay, let's just move on to the next part here. I'm trying to decide on a paint scheme for my upcoming Warhammer 40k Adeptus Mechanicus AdMech army. But I'm trying to go for a different spirit than they normally have. For those unfamiliar with the AdMech, traditionally they worship machines and information. They zealously reject their humanity. Everything is reduced to functionality and information. Human resources are literally just resources to them. A very dystopian vision. The traditional paint scheme for Forge World Mars is red cloth and steel with brassy details, as well as a little bit of black and white on certain emblems, and the traditional blue or teal plasma energy weapons. While searching for inspiration on the transhumanism theme, I mostly find examples with white as the main color and bright teal for energy. But the characters in the art usually come off as machines with very human features, where AdMech looks like humans with machinery attached all over the place. Am I trying to do something incompatible, or am I missing some great idea or source of inspiration? What do you all think?
So I think that if you're going for AdMech models, like if you're going to use the 40k AdMech models, you're just, I was going to say pushing something uphill, but I'm trying not to swear. Like, the problem is that AdMech is too incompatible. Are there 3D print people who are out there? I'd probably say that there are. Okay, let's go. 3D. Come on, man. 3D print. What would you say? Machine. No, you know what? No. We're not going to go that off track. All right, we're gonna stick here for a minute. But basically, I don't think you can use the AdMech models.
I think perhaps let's read what the commentary has said, because people have been giving their thoughts.
Yeah, there's always some other effort trying to skate up. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But yeah, let's look at the comments.
Okay, so we're gonna start with.
I worry if I click this, will everything go wrong?
Fine. I want show newest comment first, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I will go from the bottom.
So go from the top with John Slanesh. Oh, hold up. Rather than top comments, we should go most recent.
Yeah, that's what I did. So that means you have to read from bottom up.
Okay, all
newest
right.
At the top. Okay, Dofeed says, interesting question. I want to say yes, as it's something I've tried myself with this combined army Umbra Legate.
Legate?
How do I say that again?
Yeah, no, Legate.
Legate, yeah, Legate. from Infinity. Normally, they are depicted as quite sinister characters, painted in a very Sith colors. So I tried flipping things to paint them like a Clone Wars era Jedi as to the AdMech. It's a tricky one as their shtick is a very dehumanizing one, which is reflected in a lot of the models. Couple of things off the top of my head that might help. Painting the skin in healthier colors. Try either cleaner or more naturalistic colors for cloth, warmer colors for energy or plasma effects, bare heads, even if you don't want to dip into the Astra Militarum range for heads. If you look online, there are plenty of folks making characterful human heads scaled for 40k minis, many of which have bionics, just to make them seem less monolithic and impersonal. Just some ideas. Hope that helps.
Yeah, all right.
I think I would agree with that, yeah.
Yep, so we got Jason.
Anyway.
I think Jason is actually in the chat as well.
Jason, say something.
Alright, so shall you read?
I'm not a color expert, quite the opposite, but I would think the use of more natural colors, greens and beige perhaps, would indicate a greater connection to nature, therefore augmenting their humanity as opposed to replacing it. Also, healthy flesh tones to any remaining flesh instead of pallid or skin.
Yeah, so I do think that would be one of the key things. So I'm gonna see if there is. Okay, make a great episode. Yeah, actually, all right. Okay, so how do we turn that into an episode? All right.
Wait, what kind of episode? Like this review episode?
No, he's saying like an episode.
Oh.
Okay, so one of the things that I think about taking a look at colors, right? I think about this. So what I would do is I would take a look through that in-depth color psychology, right? And take a look in there. But I think back to it, and here's what I think. Deep aquas. They have a connection to spirituality. They have a connection to introspection.
Yep.
So that's a good place to look at. Golds. Actual shining golds. I'm not talking about more the brassy type golds. I'm talking about
like proper chrome level gold.
Well, not chrome level, but shining gold. Right? So it doesn't have to be like super chromy, but yes, anything chrome. So like silver chrome would do really good there.
So one of the things that we talked about with the metallics, the textures and the shades, the more reflective a metal is, the more futuristic and hopeful and positive it feels as compared to something more crude and industrial like iron or cast iron even. Right? So if you go, I think everyone has said very good points. Greens for maybe the plasma energy, because green is the color of nature, of kindness, of good things, right? So
so when I think about that, right, I actually think go the opposite, right? One, because it will contrast with the color, but the other part of it is because of this. When it comes down to it, I think about it this way. When it comes to transhumanism, there's a fundamental idea that is underwritten in it, which is that humans conquer technology, right? Rather than humans are consumed by technology. And see, that's one of the biggest differences, right? So now, like, transhumanism is very, very broad and it's a rabbit hole and there's a lot to it, right? But the more positive transhuman movement, like, it's the perfect integration of technology and things. Like, the only thing that you'd see is, like, maybe let's say that somebody was zooming in, right? You might hear sort of that word when somebody is...
like using the eye, the augmented eye.
Yeah, but, like, you wouldn't see anything, right? You might see, like, a slight shift in their eyes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so it would... I think what you're trying to say, but unfortunately will not translate in the model, is that with the perfect transhumanism with technology and human form, is that humans will try to make technology look more human.
Yeah.
If they are to do it on you. So think cyberpunk, not Warhammer. Cyberpunk, they would have the arm, cybernetic arm. You can see the grids of where the parts are, the parts that make the cybernetic arm, the components, but it still looks like a human arm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you could do something like that. If you want to just use even a regular model, a regular Warhammer model. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at because I don't know all the lore and whatnot.
Yeah, go.
Human person with robes and whatever. And all you have to do is paint them up all normal, right? And you just draw some segment parts with thin lines. It would have to be sort of a dark gray lines, not black. And that will make it look more like a
what was the
humanized
name
technology.
of that anime?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. So there's oh yes, I'm not a robot. Thank you very much.
It does not like the VPN is
Yeah,
being
it does
used.
not like the VPN. So what was the name of that big guy?
Oh, I don't know the big guy's name, but yeah, we could use Rebecca though.
Okay, no, this is a good example of what you were saying.
Make it bigger because I'm blind.
Okay.
Look at buff men.
Oh my god, that quality is freaking atrocious. All right, let's. I will click on it again, and hopefully it will clean itself up.
Can I see the resolution? Yeah, 1,000 something.
It should be.
Good.
It should be, but it is not. All right. But yeah. So like things like that, where you sort of draw the lines on them.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's said a bit more. So yes, you are right. If I insist on AdMake units, I'm basically asking how to paint white when using black paint. Yeah, so, like, unfortunately, like, the theme of the AdMech is just too contradictory to what you're asking.
Sorry, I'm not understanding what he by painting white when
he's
using
saying
black paint.
He's saying, like, the theme of the AdMech is too opposed to what he's going for. Because, like, this is the AdMech here, honey, right?
Yep.
Right?
Mars Mechanicus.
Yeah, so we go over here, right? And we take a look at them. Like, this is sort of standard AdMech. Like, look at all of these guys. They're all just Cybermen, right? And they're all made of tentacles and all sorts of other nonsense, right? And I think, yeah. And yes, official AdMech models. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I think we're going to have to move on because we might have spent a little long on this one section.
Well, it is a discussion topic.
It is a discussion topic, but there are also other people, and we also have to live a life. Yes. So next on, we've got Jason Tate. And once again, guys, so it's good to see people commenting in here. Give us your comments on these as well.
Okay. Whip for the whip guard. The end is so close I can taste it. Sanity break from my obsession with gold. Very on message for a dwarf. Instead, I redid the steel armor, removing
the steel does look a lot better. Continue, sorry.
Because I didn't see. Anyway, removing the blue vibrancy, then added a new color, Vallejo Emerald, and his glorious beard. The hand and necklace need to be finished, as well as the top knot and various smaller details. While I return to the gold. Yep.
Alright, so, like, take a look at how much more defined the steel is now. I think it looks really good.
One of the things that I really praised him about this work was he got the eye down pat. And he said how puny that area was for him to get into it.
It looks torturous, but the whites come up really well. It looks like that sort of silvery white. Victor says, appreciate everybody's thoughts and suggestions. Glad to hear that, Victor. Yeah, like, when I look at this guy, I think, like, it's so close. So close. Like, I'd be, like, beyond the aquas with the rosemaries, I'd be pretty
Rosary. Not rosemary.
Did I say rosemary?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah. So I'd just say that. But other than that, I think it's spot on.
I really like the color choices. It's not just the fact that he's using. Okay, original piece was full on blue, red, yellow, but he's used a more complementary form of the blue, red, yellow scheme here with reddish browns, and then he's got the teal blues, and then you got the yellow from the gold, which is the most obvious yellow there is here, right? And then he's got these. It also gave him the opportunity to stretch out into different tones of these colors, because at the back he's got the nice vibrant red sash.
Yeah. And like that, those small accents of red come out so much more. Because like there's not much of it, so it just
the pop
absolutely pops. All right. So, unless anybody in the comments has something to say,
Victor, if you're still on, or Cruz, you could say something as well.
creative man.
Creative man.
Created man.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Sax.
Where?
Sax.
Is he at here?
Yes, he's here, except he's up the top. I see. See? Metroid Sax.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, I remember the Metroid. Yes.
I remember all.
I remember everything.
All right. I am here, he says.
Yes.
All right. So, shall we read off?
Will Smith.
Yes.
Back at it again with a Whip Wednesday. It's been a week of quiet achievement. Painted up some minis for my animal-themed Frostgrave team, including the Tasmanian Tiger Treasure Hunter, who I'm most proud of out of the ones I did this week. That gave me the confidence to work on the big one, the Gorgia pack.
Have a good one, Victor.
All right, bye-bye. Going off, right?
I do believe that would be what it means.
Okay, I really loved these models, and I loved Warcry, so I really wanted to do these lads justice. Color-wise, I think I'm really happy with how they look, all gangrenous and anemic. Am I reading it right?
All gangrenous and anemic, yeah.
Yeah, though I will admit they are missing some highlights for now. That's me, keen to see what you guys have been up to.
Alright, so let's take a look here. Alright, so these are very, how would you call it?
Power Rangers. Oh, it does look like you got a Green Ranger, the Red Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, and the Blue Ranger, and the Black Ranger, and the Tasmanian Devil.
Okay. So, when I take a look at the Kobolds, they're very colourful. The only thing that I can think is maybe push the highlights on some of them.
Yeah, which I believe he mentioned he will be working on.
So then we've got a Tasmanian Devil here, which is not photographed the best. I think you need
a bit blurry, yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to take some new photos on those ones. These things look super interesting, though. Whatever these things are.
Oh yeah, what are they? Some skeletal horde.
I think
zombies, honey.
I don't think that they are zombies, though.
They look
not sure what they are.
Really
but I do like the colorations that he's put on.
Yeah,
them.
especially the guy on this one.
Yeah, that's the same one I was thinking.
I love to see how it's a greenish tint skin, and he's got the nice blues and purples here and there, which you usually see in very dead skin. Very well done.
Yeah. So, but obviously need some basing.
Yes.
And if that stuff on the axes is meant to be blood, either you need to add some brown to it, or you need to add some technical color to it to make it more fresh blood.
I really like the animal warband. It's so cute.
Well, I'd like it more if I could take a look at some of the other ones, like the hedgehog.
I think it's an echidna, honey.
Is it an echidna?
I think it's an echidna. Doesn't it look like an echidna's face?
It could be an echidna, could be the other one. But like, I think color choice wise, You know, absolutely smashing it. Like, that thing does look like a Tasmanian devil the way that he's painted it, but the problem is we can't get a clear look on the guy right here.
Yeah.
And like that's the biggest downside, because I take a look at that and I'm like, oh, that's really nice. That's really good. I can't see anything.
I can't see because I'm blind.
All right, so it's Whip Wednesday. We have been working on a secret project, but we've also been working on a different secret project. So guys, if you are from the YouTube channel and you're big fans of ours, well, this is us trying to step it up. So, for those of you who are very, very long time viewers, you may know that I've been in production of a game. And that game is called Zorvale. And we want to release it, but we were hoping to start up something that isn't Patreon, because Patreon takes a lot of your money and they don't really seem to offer you any sort of level of protection. And unfortunately, some people already know that there's some nasty people who are out there who don't want the best for us. But the thing is, we thought, look, we're a channel that is all about miniatures. And like, we've got this RPG here and all of this sort of thing.
This is just a very small part of it.
Oh yeah, no, this is just the main characters, and there's a reason why we're doing a lead into this, right? But the thing is, we thought, if we're a channel who's all about miniatures, why don't we actually get some miniatures made?
Oh, yes.
So this will only be for the hardcore fans. You guys will know before anyone else. But yeah, they've got the designs and they've really come along. And
these are pretty much done. We did give some very minor feedbacks to be made, but this is it. Pretty much it.
Yeah.
This is what you're looking at, is the things, my dudes and dudettes.
And so we hope that you guys really like the looks of these, because we put a lot of effort into getting this stuff done.
I should not say we, it was all you, honey. Really just you.
Well, I put some effort into getting this done while you were doing other things. But yes, I would say that it's a we, me.
Okay.
But yeah, so hopefully, guys, we will soon see these be able to be in your hands.
In your hand.
Well, if you can 3D print. So
yeah, or we could print it and you could buy it off us.
But yeah, so we hope to
make it a reality.
Yeah, soon enough.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so I hope that that was interesting for you guys. And I see 0 comments, which doesn't make me nervous at all.
Everyone hates us.
Alright.
Everybody hates us.
Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Everybody needs a bosom.
I don't know this one. You have to
okay.
show it to me. Okay, it's this person next.
Paul Ewog.
Oh, you've skipped yourself, have you?
No. I talked about the Whip Wednesday and then we went up.
Okay, fine. Well, Paul says, whip. Face done. Now applying a base coat of AVGC. I believe that is Vallejo game color. 72.015 hexed lichen, thinned with Liquitex Max matte medium. Couple dings past the lines. I'll fix them up with the blue base coat later. It's looking really smooth.
Yes, it is looking very smooth. So, it is. Yes.
Who is this guy?
That's Galactus.
Galactus.
He is comic book villain extraordinaire.
I see. Well, I do know that there's another post that is Galactus style
Yes.
further up.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us see what more that you will do with him, Mr. Paul.
All right.
Oh, Will has some fun froggies. Yay. Bonus round, just for the lols. I ended up painting 2 of my frog minis, again for my animal theme Frostgrave Warband. Where I can, I want to use native Australian animals, with the exception of the kobolds.
Kobolds aren't a native Australian animal, believe it or not.
What is that? What is this kobold?
You know those lizard thing back on the other one?
No.
The colourful lizard people.
Lizard people?
Will showed off lizard
Oh,
people.
no. Okay. Alright. I didn't realize, because I don't know what a kobold is. And my elephant wizard. So I decided to paint these 2 dudes up as a southern corroboree frog and a magnificent tree frog, respectively. This is my first time painting something to look like a real thing, but I'm super happy with how they turned out. I reckon if anything, my brushwork could have been better on the corroboree frog, but the tree frog came out really good, in my honest opinion. Keen to get these dudes on the table now. I really like them.
Yeah, so I was taking a look at this. Take a look at the magnificent tree frog.
I want to find the picture that you're looking at. Okay, I found it.
She's looking on her mobile phone. She got a whole desktop panel up and she's like, not enough for me.
I can't see. I don't have my glasses.
This is how we start things. This is how things go in this household. Alright. There's zero frustration. Alright, so yeah. Essentially when I take a look at it, I just think like the way that he's hit the highlights with everything is absolutely fantastic. I take a look at the back and its colorations on the back, and I have to think that he's going off, some sort of reference guide. Because when I look at this, right, I just think about the common tree frog, when I look at the front, I'm like, yeah, that looks like a common tree frog.
I would only say that I think the front part of the loincloth sash needs to be painted up because it looks like he's used the same color for the skin.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think a red would be really good.
No, because he's painted it brown. That's the back, so the front hasn't been.
No, I think it has been painted brown, but I just don't think that it contrasts enough against the skin. Like, I can see that there's a bit of a different color there, but it's not that different. That's the issue.
Okay.
Alright, so I take a look at the rest of it, and I just think to myself, that must be its coloration. But when I looked at the yellow and black guy, I just thought, I didn't know Australia had frogs like this. This looks
poison frog.
Yeah, it looks more like a poison dart frog. Or some variation of a poison dart frog. With the yellow and black. It says, I'm poison, no touch me. No touchy.
But I can imagine these guys as the thieves.
Yeah, no, like, that's what I was thinking too, as thieves. But, like, I think other than the cloth here, I think this would probably have to be his best next to his elephant.
I do like the choice of colors and the shadow colors and everything. He's done very nicely.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's looking absolutely fantastic. All right, so next up,
got Joseph.
And since Joseph has been working so hard, Joe, you're doing real good.
Yeah, he used your special name.
His special name. All right, you want to read it out?
Name.
Your weekend name.
That's what he said. Okay, the imitation butcher from the gambler's chest for Kingdom Death. He connects to his base at 3 points, his right foot, his left shin, and his left wrist. Unfortunately, I could only really see one of those at a time while gluing him on, so I could never quite line him up properly. I focused on getting his wrist to connect to his hand, and thought I'd done okay with the others until the glue had dried. Fixing it now would ruin the paint job. It may only be an issue if you're up close and looking from above. Only 3 more left to post my Post from my Christmas batch.
So this first image that he sent is so confusing when I look at it the first time
I
round.
feel like I've seen this guy before.
That's the butcher.
Right.
So he's an imitation butcher. So he's a person pretending to be like the butcher sort of thing, right? Or maybe on his quest to become a butcher. But yeah, like taking a look at it, I love the skin work. I think the hands come together really well. As far as assembly problems, I think that this looks much nicer than your what's the other ones that we were looking at?
Oh, the Bone Eaters.
The Bone Eaters, because like the mold lines were a major problem on them, and I think that these are way better. I think
really
these guys.
The lanterns and the USL.
I would have to say this has been probably your best piece this week. Nice bright highlights with the cloth. You know, the hair's all lit up here by the lantern, but elsewhere, you know, it's more brownish. So it's a really nice, bright, vibrant, interesting look. I would have to say, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Great work.
Exactly.
All right. So, next up, we've got Ron Purvis.
But we will skip this one because he's got an update.
Skip this one, but
Yeah.
I zoom in.
Zoom in.
I zoom in.
Yes, okay, but there is another one that he's...
Okay. Okay, so we skip Cruise.
Cruise?
You said...
I said skip wrong.
Oh, okay.
Hi all, hope everyone is having a great week thus far. Managed to get 2 more Skyrim models done over the past couple of days. Much like the other 3 models, I am aiming for very simple subpar tabletop level while I am relearning everything.
Yep, so once again, I think the biggest thing is that he's keeping within the lines. I actually like the scales on this guy because we've got some definition in here.
Yeah, you've done a little bit of dry brushing, is that it? Or over brushing?
Either that or he's used a wash. But the shirt here is not come up. I suggest there's a new wash by Games Workshop called
Soul Blight Grey.
Soul Blight Grey, and you could just put that wash over that and then bring up the white from there. But other than that, I really like it. I like how you've added the tuft to that other area to give some visual interest. However, I do think that you really want to add some sort of texture paste. It doesn't matter if it's just a homemade one. That's okay. The big thing is that like that flatness is so unnatural compared to all of the detail in the model. And it just makes it like when the flatness was those rocks, you know, you're like, oh, okay, that's fine, that's good, that's everything. It's all right, don't worry about it. But when you were looking at it the other way, you're just like, yeah, mate. All right, so yeah, I think I also like how he's got a real hat sort of look to this Khajiit person. You know,
Khajiit?
That's what they're called. They're called Khajiit.
Okay, well, I think the silver is a bit too brown. Maybe a null and oil wash over the arm.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A null oil wash on this armor would really... But see what I'm talking? Pink nose, you know, the face and the hair.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah, he looks like a real cat. You know, so I think...
Nice pink nose.
So I think color choice wise, he's absolutely hitting it out of the park.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so next up, we've got more Joseph Malan.
Night Survivor from Echoes of Death 3 for Kingdom Death. She's wearing the Kingsman's armor, so I've also added a photo of my painted mini of him at the end for reference. Only 2 more models from Christmas left to share.
Okay, so this is what the Kingsman looks like. See?
Oh, okay.
And so she's wearing all of his gear. But I think this is really good. I like the highlights in there. The glow is good. I think the eyes are decent in these ones. I don't think it's your best eyes, but it's definitely not your worst eyes. The the way that she's posed, where she's got that smoke coming up, all of it looks really good. I do think that the sword is a bit plain though.
Yeah, I feel like with such a large sword, you could really play with it and go for some pretty nice definition and metallic reflectiveness on it if you really wanted to push it.
So Mr. Watcher has said, fourth try at doing a wash on that scale. Which was in reference to the previous work that he was doing there before. But yeah, I look at this and I feel like this is a bit of a cop-out, but I've got nothing to criticize here. I love the hair. I think that the red of the cloaks come up really well. I like the purple interior. The sort of white fur is exactly as he's planned to do it. The highlights on the hair, perfect. Like, there's nothing that I look at and I go, well, that needs to be changed or improved. So, like, I look at it and I'm just sort of like, well, I'm sort of done here because, like, there's nothing wrong. It's really good. There's like, he's hit the target that he wants to hit.
Yeah, and it's so incredibly well done, especially his technique when it comes to hair, skin, and fabric.
Yeah.
Some of the hardest textures to master, and he's done it really well.
Yeah.
For the level that he's trying to go for.
Yeah, he's trying to go for tabletop plus, and I'd say that this is really character level plus. So this is what you wanted to talk about with the
Ron. Yes, he's finished his Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider. I think it's looking very much the cartoon itself.
Well, I do think that the Doctor Strange is more like the one from the movies, but I really like the sort of weird purple maw that he's coming out of. With the fire surrounding it. And
that's clearly the portal from the movie, the way they do.
Yeah.
So he's coming out from space, maybe. I don't know where he's coming out from.
Yeah, or some mystic realm or whatever it might be.
It's really cool.
So, Mr. Cruz, I agree with the base's comment. Unfortunately, the models are a solid cast. Yeah, I understand that. But still make yourself some texture paste. Like, I think that means that we've really got to do that video on how to make texture paste. But yeah, so we'll get to that. Yeah. All right. We'll get there, and we'll show people how to do it, how to apply it, all of that sort of thing. All right.
So, what are we thinking of Ron's?
The only thing is, the red, very plasticky. There's not a lot of highlights that I see in it.
You think it's a bit too, maybe not
one tone?
Yeah, a very one tone, but a very nice color.
It's a nice color,
but it needs a bit of shadow and highlighting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, more shadowing, more highlighting. I think that I really like the cosmic effect down there. I think that the white could be brought up a bit more.
Is that meant to be white or more like a metal?
No, I think it's meant to be a white. I think just highlight some of those areas. I think that the faces come up well. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I think that Ghost Rider looks exactly like Ghost Rider does.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot extra that you can do with Ghost Rider because he's black with yellow and red flames.
Yeah, and he's pretty much... Well, if you're following the movie, I think the bike was like a very nice midnight purple with fire decal on it.
Oh, was it?
I believe so.
I'm not sure. But yeah, like that's what I look at and I'm just like, yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these.
Yeah, it still looks fantastic.
Yeah. All right. So next up.
Ooh, more of
Joseph.
I think I'm done picking colors for these guys now. You see Sword Guy's skirt? That was red when I got home from work today and started painting the green. I forgot what I was doing and painted it green without thinking. It was always meant to be red. I've had to repaint it due to
That's all right. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, but I think this is very much a whip, so I think we will move along from this one.
It is looking very.
Yeah, it is. It is looking nice, but we will move on because, yeah. Ah, so next up
Ooh.
we've got more Galactus.
More Galactus started putting this boy together tonight. So, is he going to paint this or just leave it as that?
I don't know because it's like it's meant to be a dice roller.
Yeah, it's
so
a dice roller.
obviously there's going to be a lot of action and there's a good chance that it's going to be hit with dice a lot. So
yeah, so people aren't gonna use.
yeah, well, like if you do paint this, you're going to have to just absolutely cover it in a lot of varnish. I was going to say other things there, but yeah.
Well, you don't need to put a lot of varnish. You don't have to paint the interior and just a tray.
No, because like you got to think that people aren't going to be always rolling that well, and some of the times, like they might roll to go in the tray, and it's going to hit like his chest and stuff. Understand what I'm saying? But yes, so and then next up we've got Alan O'Brien.
Eduov.
Yes, and like once again, I take a look at this. I've been trying out the trick he said with the
hair.
No, with the toothpick and the freckles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think unfortunately it only works at certain scales because I tried it on the special project for the competition and it didn't quite work out. When I glazed over it, came out a lot better. But once again, like see those specular highlights in the eyes, right? I think this is sort of at the stage where I can no longer comment because the skin on the face looks so realistic and such.
It does.
And I just think to myself, all right, well, where can I comment on certain things like this? I really like the way that the hand is looking.
I just wonder if the shadows are a little too deep on the face.
Well, we do remember that he said that he's going for a competition where like they really judge quite harshly on the
level of contrast.
Yeah. So I think that he's really, really trying to push the shadowing. I look at it, and yeah, there's not a lot that I can add.
I'm not sure about the material that he's going for the cauldrons because
I don't think that they're done yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only thing I was thinking was right here. If you're really going for the shadowing and that sort of thing, the light's definitely coming from this way, right? It's a
yeah.
Right. Why is the belt buckle on this side so bright? That's the only thing that I could say because, I think that's a dwarf and that's a dwarven gut and the beard is shadowing it a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I just try and point a light coming down from this way and see if it still hits that area of the belt buckle.
Right, that's a smart one.
Yeah, like that's the only thing that I could add or say. All right, so next up, looks like Joseph has discovered that the live stream is on.
Oh, well, he says it's too early for him.
It is. I think
8:00.
So right now, I believe it is 9:30 over there right now. So we've got more abyssal dwarves. And these ones are significantly different from the ones he had before because like they've got a lot of green in them.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
So like, the problem is it's still all too one tone.
Yeah, I would say.
Like I take a look at it and like I think that having those helmets be sort of face masks, Greco-Roman style.
Oh, okay, yeah, like Spartan.
Yeah, they're Greeks. And like have it so that it's not actually their heads, it's their sort of face mask helmet things, right? I think that's fine, but I still think like this fabric here is not fabric.
Yeah, he could use a bit more of different colors.
Yeah.
Just general, or like picking out certain details to like create some visual break, very least.
I would agree with that 100%. Okay, so after that, I think that's it, but I'm going to do one last refresh just to make sure that, we're not missing out on anyone. All right, so we're live, and yep. All right, so thank you everybody once again for joining us. And so one thing that we're going to add is if you guys have something to say before we end, we'll have a little commentary on it, because we did spend a lot of time on Victor's thing, didn't we?
Yeah, the Adeptus Mechanicus discussion.
Yeah, we did. And I hope you guys liked that sneak preview that we had. I hope that you enjoyed that. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining us, and we hope that we're helping you guys out, and
helping you improve on your hobby journey.
Yep. But we will see if anybody's got anything to say, and then I think we'll sign off. It does not look that way, so let's sign off.
Okay.
All right.
Keep those brushes wet.
Bye-bye.